This is the Marketing Minute with Eric Rhodes, author of the #1 Amazon bestseller, Make More Money Selling Your Art, Proven Techniques to Turn Your Passion into Profit.
Well, in the Marketing Minute, I try to answer your marketing questions that you can email me, eric@pleinairmagazine.com. I need more. Yes, I need more. A reminder. Just right now, just take your email out and, any question. Like this one from Mary in Johnson City, Tennessee. She says, Eric, I'm 65, and I'm told I'm a pretty good painter, but I've never sold a painting or even tried. People tell me I should. Am I too old to become a professional painter? Mary, only you can answer that question. I don't know your circumstances. I don't know your health issues. I don't know what you're going through. But 65 is the new 45, People tend to be staying younger, staying healthier as long as they're getting out, getting exercise. Outdoors painting is a good thing. But I think it boils down to your state of mind, your attitude, how you think about it. Do you think you're too old? If you do, it's true. If you don't, it's true. Some of the greatest painters of all time were older and did some of their best work in their latter years. I hate to say senior years because I don't like the word senior. Anyway, age, in fact, might be an advantage for you because people assume because you're older you have deeper experience and wisdom. That's a good marketing tool to remember. Anyway, a good painting is a good painting is a good painting, and good paintings sell. But they don't sell by themselves, right? One of the problems that some people who are older might have is they're not willing to learn anything new. And you got to be learning new. And by the way, if you stay curious and you learn new things and you stay engaged, you're going to be much, much happier. And if you're happier, you're going to feel younger, and you feel younger, you're going to stay younger. To become a pro, though, you got to sell paintings. To sell paintings, you got to learn how to sell paintings. You got to learn marketing. You got to learn the process of running your little business or maybe big business. And a lot of people have started late and made up great careers and made a lot of money, or some people just want to start and have some extra income. It's up to you. But you could do whatever you want to do. You just got to set your mind to it. And of course, you can't just set your mind to it. You got to put the business into the shovel, into the dirt, and work at it. Nothing happens without working at it. It's really nice to imagine things and to think positive, all that stuff. That's great. But unless you're working it, it isn't going to happen. You got to work it. You got to work hard. Nothing good is easy. Now, I have several courses on marketing, of course, my video, my book, several videos actually. But you could start for free. My art marketing blog, it's artmarketing.com. And just start reading up and studying and learning about marketing. Just take it one step at a time, one little thing at a time. Just try some stuff. See what sticks. And don't get frustrated because it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. And things like advertising will speed it up. But those things don't even work overnight. Usually, you got to put in the time. You got to put in the repetition. And you have to get known, trusted. People have to become aware. You have to stay visible. They have to know who you are. And they want to like you. And it takes some time to get to know you, just like life, right? So, of course, you got to do some decent paintings. It never hurts to find out if they're really good. Get some opinions from people who will actually know. Don't ask your friends. By the way, the same thing applies to, am I too young? And the answer is, of course, only if you think you are. I was on the radio at age 14, making fairly big money on the air by 17, and people had told me it was impossible because I was too young. They told me I had to pay my dues. I had to go through this process, and I was going to have to, work hard for many years before I ever got a chance to be on the radio. Well, just do it. Don't judge anybody by age. It's up to the individual. The next question comes from Jody in Fort Wayne, Indiana, which happens to be my hometown. Jody asks, Eric, I'm really happy. Business is going well. I'm selling a lot of art, and I've been making more money than I really ever thought was possible from my art. But I've been with the same gallery for 20 years, and though they are doing really, really well, I worry that they won't do well forever. What should I do? Well, Jody, first, congratulations. Making a living is a beautiful thing. Having a gallery is a beautiful thing. Having one for 20 years is a beautiful thing. I wouldn't worry so much about whether or not they're going to go out of business. And if you do worry, it might not hurt to have a conversation with the owner and just say, hey, we've been together 20 years. What's the next 20 look like? What are you doing? What happens if something happens to you? You know, you can have that conversation. And then at least you'll have a little bit more information. You know, if they say, well, I'm getting ready to retire and turn it over to my kid who has no experience, I'd start worrying. But you need to consider a couple other things. You're experiencing what we call concentration risk. All your eggs in a single basket. If that gallery goes away and you go from 1,500 miles an hour to zero overnight, it's going to be painful. I've watched it happen. There was a prominent art show out in the West. It was breaking all the records because it had an aggressive and loved leader. When that leader died, the show almost died. It's never quite been the same since. It's never sold as much since, and it's been a little rudderless. So the person behind something makes a big difference oftentimes unless they have really great systems in place. You know, if a gallery has good systems in place and good marketing and they follow certain disciplines and they have their people well trained, that's a lot better than being reliant on a single individual who just happens to be really charismatic. But even then, it can change. So remember, anything that's based on one thing, one person, I oftentimes talk about the Parthenon. Imagine the Parthenon with one single pillar. A car slams into that pillar, that thing comes crashing down. You know, so that one pillar is your gallery. Now, I have friends who have patrons who buy a lot of art from them. Sometimes they'll buy, 2, 3, 4, 5 paintings a year, sometimes more, and they have a lot of their income tied up in that one patron. And I've seen artists who say, all of a sudden my patron who's been with me for 10 years and buying a lot of stuff stopped buying. Well, maybe they experienced a stock market crash or down in their business or some other thing. Maybe they just don't have any more wall space. You never want to have more than 10, 15, 20, 25% max of your business coming from a single source. Now, some of that might be teaching or workshops, might be galleries, might be direct selling, it might be art shows, might be other forms of income. But I think it's a good idea in general to have 3 galleries. More than 3, you could do that. But, 20, you don't need that probably. But that way, if something stops, you still have income. I hope that's helpful. Well, there you go. There's the Marketing Minute.
This has been the Marketing Minute with Eric Rhodes. You can learn more at artmarketing.com.